Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the appointment of Dr. Oji as the Executive Secretary, Nigerian Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative, (NETI), for a single term of 5 years in accordance with the provision of Section 12, 2A, and 63 of the Nigerian Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative Establishment Act 2007. The appointment takes effect from 19 February 2021. Until the appointment, Dr. Oji was the agency's Director of Communication and Advocacy. He began his career at the Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria, FRCN, and also worked with the United Nations Development Program, where Dr. Oji managed several donor-funded projects. He holds MSc degree and PhD in political economy and international development from the University of Abuja. NETI was established in 2004 as the key anti-corruption agency at the presidency responsible for improving transparency, accountability, and governance of the country's oil, gas, and mining industries. Mr. President enjoins the new appointee to serve the nation with all sense of responsibility, honesty, diligence, and promote good governance in the discharge of his duties. And moving on to security matters. Governor Abubakar Sani Bello has formally briefed President Muhammadu Buhari over the recent attack on Government Science College, Agara, in Rafi local government area of the state. The governor who visited the affected areas on a fact-finding visit brought the president up to speed on efforts in resourcing the abducted students as well as ensuring that perpetrators are brought to justice. President Buhari, who had promptly dispatched a team of security chiefs to coordinate the rescue operations, expressed serious concern over the loss of students in the unfortunate incident and promised not to relent until normalcy is restored in the nation's security situation. Governor Sani Bello told NT News that his engagement with the president was fruitful and reassuring.
I came this evening to thank Mr. President for his quick response to the plight of Nigerians following two serious abductions, kidnap incidences. And at the same time, we rub minds on what we think should be done so that we find an everlasting solution to proper attention, and we will continue engaging the service chiefs of the federal so that we can guide them and advise them on what we think should be done. So I think it was a wonderful meeting this evening.
So having met the president, what assurance can you give to Kagara community and the entire Nigerians?
To be honest, I'm very convinced from what Mr. President told me, and I feel I have seen the presence of the military in Kagara. I was there earlier on today, and I also request for some additional personnel and equipment, which I believe will be granted any moment from now. Right now, our immediate priority is to get the kidnapped victims released. After that, I think we must have a long-lasting solution to the farmers-herdsmen conflict.
Do you subscribe to the recent call by the Senate for the declaration of a state of emergency on security in this country?
Well, at the moment, if you look at what is happening, we are having security challenges in almost every part of the country. So yes, I agree there is a need to install some form of emergency on security matters across board. So yes, I think the Senate acted in good faith. Something definitely needs to be done.
And still on security matters, the Nigerian Police Force has deployed 4 units of mobile force, special forces, and other operational assets to bandits from local government areas of the United States to rescue all kidnapped victims, including the recent Government Science College students. Nta Abeokuta reports that the operation is under Operation Prof. Adam, two recently flagged off by the Inspector General of Police Command.
The deployment of the special forces was in response to the recent kidnapping of 27 students of Government Science College, Kagara, and many others in captivity in Niger State. The flagging off of the Operation Puff Order 2 in the state is thus to flush out bandits, kidnappers, and robbers and terrorists in the four local government areas identified as flashpoints and the state as a whole.
So we have deployment around that axis, so we know what is happening and we are monitoring. And we have enough people personnel inside the areas, both air and land. And this reinforcement will also assist. Initially, we may have a problem of manpower. Now we have enough, so we deploy in all the areas that are flash points.
Niger State government vowed to do everything possible to support the special forces to ensure effective operation while urging the troops to observe rules of engagement during their operations.
We want their morale to be high. We want to give them every tomorrow support where it is necessary for us to give them the information and to aid them for the operation. The state government will not hesitate to give them such information.
What I want to tell the parents of these abducted children is they should just believe in the effort that the state government has done. The presidency too will ensure that these children are out of where they are.
The Niger State Police Command and the state government, however, maintained that the operation will be an intelligence-led and community-driven operation, which will be executed in collaboration with the armed forces, the communities, and other sister security agencies. This is with a view to reclaiming the public space from criminals that are bent on threatening the sovereignty of the country. Emina Mukhtar Abubakar, NTA News.
And moving on to legislative matters, the Senate has confirmed the nomination of Victor Buraku for appointment as Chairman Fiscal Responsibility Commission. This followed the consideration of the report of the Senate Committee on Finance, which also recommended that the President Muhammadu Buhari should constitute the board of the commission with representation from all the 6 geopolitical zones and the civil society organization. The bill for acts to provide legal framework for the establishment of federal medical centers, sponsored by Senator Aishatu Dahiru, passed second reading. The bill seeks to ensure adequate provision of healthcare services and to give legal backing to the existing federal medical centers across the country. And moving on, she is a woman of many parts and a two-time Minister of Finance in Nigeria. She is no other person than the newly appointed Director General of World Trade Organization, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. In this report, Akim Jimo takes a look at the task ahead of her when she takes over the mantle of leadership at the organization come 1st March 2021.
Born on 13 June 1954 in Ugwashi Uku in Delta State of Nigeria, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala attended her elementary and secondary education in Enugu and Ibadan. An economic graduate of Harvard University with a PhD certificate in regional economics and development from Massachusetts Institute of Technology in 1981. Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala arrived the United States of America in 1973 as a teenager at the World Bank in Washington, D.C., where she spent 25 years. She rose through the ranks to become the managing director in charge of operations between 2007 and 2006. She rose through the ranks to become the managing director in charge of operations between 2007 and 2011. Her recent emergence as the Director General World Trade Organization was described as an opportunity for her to turn things around in the famous World Trade Organization, which deals with global rules of trade and pave ways for free flow of trade globally.
The perspective of the current global coronavirus pandemic and the economic recession attending that outbreak of a pandemic. She has a lot in her hands to do, assist the economies of the world. We have to up our game as far as the Continental Free Trade Agreement, ACFAT, is concerned.
If you are in position to sell, then you should be able to negotiate other things politically. When you talk of United Nations seats, we should be able to get some things there.
For pushing Nigeria to occupy the position of the largest economy in Africa during the Goodluck Jonathan-led administration, Dr. Okonjo-Iweala was adjudged as suitable for the post.
With this, the new title she was given, she will do better. She will represent Africa in general, and she also represent female in Nigeria.
Women folks who restrain themselves from coming to the public domain to display their potentials due to traditions and culture, which relegated them to the background, are however encouraged to borrow a leaf from the first two-time female Minister of Finance in Nigeria and come out of their shell to vie for public office positions in Nigeria.
It has changed the settings. Many females out there will be challenged, will be encouraged to do more and to want to learn and be in a right position to fight for other people.
Don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on your dreams. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it. Because one day and just one night, the world will just rise up for your glory.
Nominated by President Muhammadu Buhari in June 2020, Dr. Okonjo-Iweala, despite some challenges, advanced to the final stage of the election into the prestigious #1 position at the World Trade Organization. Prior to her appointment on 15th February 2021, the immediate past United States President Donald Trump and his cabinet had opposed to her election. However, the withdrawal of her closest contender, Yoon Hoon-hee of the Republic of Korea, from the race, coupled with the support by the newly elected United States President Joe Biden, led to her emergence as new Director General, WTO. Daughter of late Obi of Ugwashi-Uku Kingdom in Delta State, Professor Chukwuka Okonjo, the newly crowned Director General, WTO, who is married to Ikemba Iweala of Abia State, had 4 children with Tokowa from Roberto as the video on 1st of March 2021.
Thank you, Akim Chino, for that report. The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, has rolled out an increment in the ex-depot price of premium motor spirit petrol in February 2021. The Group General Manager, Group Public Affairs Division, Dr. Kenny Obatel, in a statement explained that the decision was to allow ongoing engagement with organized labor and other stakeholders on an acceptable framework that will not expose the ordinary Nigerian to hardship, to be concluded. NNPC urged petroleum product marketers not to engage in hoarding of premium motor spirit petrol in order not to create artificial scarcity and unnecessary hardship for Nigerians, while giving assurance that it has enough stock of petrol to keep the nation well supplied for about 40 days. It further called on relevant regulatory authorities to step up monitoring of the activities of marketers with a view to sanctioning those involved in product hoarding or arbitrary increase of pump price. It will be recalled that the nation's downstream sector was deregulated in March 2020 with the Ministry of State and Petroleum Resources Chief Timothy Silva stating that the prices of petrol products will be determined by prevailing market prices. And moving on, to ensure that President Muhammadu Buhari's vision of lifting 100 million Nigerians out of poverty by the year 2030 is achieved, 53 independent monitors have been trained in Ebonyi State by the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development for better understanding of various social investment programs of the federal government for proper supervision of its implementation. Chinaza John reports.
Components of the National Integrated Social Investment Program were initiated in 2016 by the present administration to reduce high rates of poverty and unemployment, which hitherto was above 60% in 2015. The program, which comprised the Npa, Conditional Cash Transfer, Government Enterprise and Empowerment Program, and the National Homegrown School Feeding Program, have become a household name, thus requiring effective implementation and monitoring. The training of the independent monitors, who are to be engaged for 1 year, is to unbundle the monitoring and evaluation component of the Social Investment Program, now domiciled in the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development. Flagging off the training, the Minister Sadiya Umar Farouk, who was represented, said transparency and accountability remains the watchword of the federal government, hence the need for more commitment so as to meet the 100 million Nigerians being targeted by the president.
If you follow Mr. President's statements,
Muslims have been reminded
100 million Nigerians.
the pearls good to both fellow Muslims and non-Muslims to attain God's paradise after death and also to leave good legacies behind. This formed part of the sermon at the 8-day Fidal in honor of Alaja Sidikat Abeke Salami. Kemi Omoshoru Sikiru was there and brought back this report.
Friends, well-wishers and relatives joined the family of Salami for the 8th-day Fidal in honor of late Sidikat Abeke Salami. Imam Abdurrahman Arowolo in his sermon, which centered on life after death, called on the congregation to bear in mind their end time and be kind and humble to everyone wherever they found themselves. Describing the late Sidikat as epitome of peace and devout Muslim, Imam Arowolo advised the children not to mourn the passage of their mother, but to take solace in Allah and emulate good legacies of their late mother. For the children, it was hard to say goodbye, recalling fond memories they shared with the departed.
My mom was a very, very loving mother. Very generous, very nice, very kind, very social. And she's nice to every neighborhood here, every other neighborhood. I go to miss her. I will surely miss her because she's a great woman. She's my mom. My God. I will never forget her. My life. I love her so much and I will continue to love her. May God continue to allow her to continue to rest in peace.
Others, who include family members and associates, also pay tribute to the deceased.
She takes good care of family. She doesn't ignore anybody in the family. She's a very good woman to me. She didn't take me as an in-law. She took me as a son.
Mr. Wale Shoyombo of NTA News 24 Abuja, who is one of Mama's sons-in-law, also attended the prayer. Alaja Sidikat Abeke Salami died at the age of 75 years old, living behind her husband, children and grandchildren.
Hussein Hajent also rest in peace. And that wraps up Channel 12 News. Thank you for watching. I'm Idaresit. Adedokun. Bye for now.
Ó dẹ̀ rọrùn fún mi láti máa ṣorin fún yín. Ṣé mọ̀ kó tó wá rọrùn fún mi jù láti ṣe àsopọ̀ NIN mi àti ẹ̀ka ìpè Glo mi. Mo lè mú ẹ̀rọ ìpè mi kí n dẹ̀ tẹ *109*NIN# tàbí kí n pe 109 kí n dẹ̀ tẹ̀lé àwọn ìfilọ́lẹ̀ rẹ̀. Tí kò bá wù mí láti pè, mo lè tẹ àtẹ̀ránṣẹ́ NIN mi sí 109. Mo lè kàn sórí glowworld.com/NIN tó bá dẹ̀ gbàgbé NIN rẹ tẹ *346# láti rí gbà padà. Ẹlòmíì dẹ̀ tún lè béèrè tí ìbá ní NIN kọ́ tó lè yan fanda wọ èyíkéyìí Glow World tó súnmọ́ ẹ jù. Má jẹ́ kán já ẹ̀ka ìpè Glow rẹ o nítorí àwọn àǹfààní tó pọ̀ tí ìpè àti data látọwọ́ Glow àti so NIN rẹ pọ̀ pẹ̀lú ẹ̀ka Glow rẹ ó rọrùn gidi kò léwu ọ̀fẹ́ ni kò sì ní wàhálà rárá.
aláṣẹ Muhammadu Buhari gbàlejò igbákejì aláṣẹ tẹ́lẹ̀ rí Namadi Zambo lórí ètò ìdìbò ilẹ̀ Niger Republic. Iléeṣẹ́ tó ń rí sí epo rọ̀bì lórílẹ̀‐èdè yìí sọ wípé kò sí àfikún owó epo bẹtiró ní oṣù kejì ọdún tí a wà yìí. Ẹ̀kálẹ́ ẹ kú iṣẹ́ òní, Olúwakẹ́mi Ọ̀rúnṣolú Síkírù ní orúkọ tèmi, ìròyìn náà rèé lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́. Aláṣẹ Muhammadu Buhari ti sọ pé ìṣàkóso orílẹ̀-èdè Republic of Niger tó fẹ́ kó gbá wọlé nílò oríyìn tó pọ̀ pẹ̀lú bí ó ti pa òfin ìlú mọ́, pàápàá jùlọ bí ètò àtúndì ìbò ti ń bọ̀ nínú oṣù yìí ní ìlú náà. Èyí wáyé bí aláṣẹ Muhammadu Buhari ti ń gba àlejò igbákejì aláṣẹ orílẹ̀-èdè yìí tẹ́lẹ̀ rí ní Mohammed Namadi Zambo, ẹni tí ó jẹ́ olórí ikọ̀ ECOWAS lórí ètò ìdìbò ilẹ̀ Niger Republic. Ó kí fún iṣẹ́ takuntakun tí ó ń ṣe ní ìlú náà. Gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Niger Abubakar Sani Bello ti lọ ṣàlàyé ibi tí ohun gbogbo dé dúró lórí ìkọlù tó wáyé sí àwọn akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ilé ẹ̀kọ́ ìmọ̀ ìjìnlẹ̀ ní ìlú Kagara ní ìjọba ìbílẹ̀ Rafi ní ìpínlẹ̀ Niger fún aláṣẹ Muhammadu Buhari. Gómìnà náà tó lọ àyè tí ìkọlù náà ti wá mú ìròyìn yàjóyàjó lọ bá aláṣẹ Muhammadu Buhari lórí ìgbìyànjú gbogbo láti rí àwọn akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ àti òṣìṣẹ́ náà gbà padà. Gómìnà ọ̀hún ṣàlàyé fún àwọn akọ̀ròyìn lẹ́yìn ìpàdé rẹ̀ pẹ̀lú aláṣẹ Muhammadu Buhari wípé ìpàdé ọ̀hún yọrí sí rere bí ó sì tún ti ń fi ní lọ́kàn balẹ̀ pẹ̀lú. Iléeṣẹ́ tó ń rí sí ètò epo rọ̀bì ní orílẹ̀-èdè yìí ti sọ pé òun kò ní èrò láti fi owó kún owó epo pẹtiró ní oṣù kejì ọdún tí a wà yìí. Nínú àtẹ̀jáde tí ẹ̀ka tó rí sí ọ̀rọ̀ aráàlú níléeṣẹ́ NNPC ìyẹn ọ̀mọ̀wé Kenny Obatere fi sóde ṣàlàyé pé èyí wáyé láti fi àyè sílẹ̀ fún ẹgbẹ́ òṣìṣẹ́ láti parí ìjíròrò wọn lórí àfikún owó náà. Wọ́n ké sí àwọn alágbàtà láti máa kó ọjà pamọ́ fún títà nítorí pé iléeṣẹ́ náà ní àǹfààní 40 ọjọ́ láti ta epo láìsí wàhálà tàbí lílọ bíbọ̀ ní ilé epo. Lẹ́yìn ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọdún, àwọn èèyàn agbègbè Ìmẹ̀kọ ti ń pè fún ìdápadà àwọn ilé ìfowópamọ́ sí agbègbè Ìmẹ̀kọ fún ìlọsíwájú ètò ọrọ̀ ajé agbègbè náà. Akọ̀ròyìn wa Tọ́pẹ́ Àlàbí jábọ̀ ìròyìn ẹ̀bùn tí ó mú bọ̀ síwájú sí.
Fún bíi ọdún mẹ́wàá sẹ́yìn báyìí làwọn èèyàn agbègbè Ìmẹ̀kọ Àfọ̀n tó wà lábẹ́ ẹkùn ìdìbò ìwọ̀ oòrùn ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn ti wà láìsí ilé ìfowópamọ́ ìgbàlódé látàrí kíkógbá wọlé èyí tó wà ńbẹ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀. Èyí kò ṣẹ̀yìn bí ilé ìfowópamọ́ tó wà níbẹ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀ ṣe fà á kíkọ́rí láti padà wá máa ṣiṣẹ́ lẹ́yìn táwọn ìgárá ọlọ́ṣà adigunjalè kọlu ọkọ̀ ìgbowópamọ́ rẹ̀ sí tí wọ́n sì pa àwọn tó tó 10 nínú ọkọ̀ náà.
Wọ́n gbé bullion van wá kó owó everyday náà ń wá bullion van wá ní 2013 I think around October. Àwọn olè wọ́n kọlù wọn gbàgbọ́ náà bá dáa nígbà yẹn ni wọ́n jẹ́ ká mọ̀ pé bí bullion van yẹn ṣe ń rìn bulletproof ni gbogbo bọ́tọ́ yìí yẹn kì bá ti dá dúró ṣùgbọ́n gbà tọ́nà ò dáa tó pé láti máa tẹ bírèkì lọ́tún tẹ bírèkì lósì.
Àwọn olùgbé agbègbè náà ní láti máa lo ọ̀nà míì láti máa jàǹfààní ìṣọwọ́ ṣiṣẹ́ ilé ìfowópamọ́ ni kí à ń lo ibùdó POS tó dé èyí tó ti di gbajúgbajà báyìí ṣùgbọ́n èyí kò ṣàìwà pẹ̀lú onírúurú ìrírí. tí ò dùn mọ́ni nínú.
Tí wọ́n fẹ́ gbowó POS la ti máa ń lọ gbowó, so owó tó dẹ̀ máa ń gbà lọ́wọ́ wa máa ń pọ̀, bí ká fẹ́ transfer bí ká fẹ́ withdraw, owó tó máa ń gbà lórí as charges ó máa ń pọ̀. And tá bá fẹ́ ṣe transfer sometimes dẹ̀kẹ̀rẹ̀ kò kí ń sí network tó yẹ pé ọkọ̀ máa debit wa ní rówó gbà.
So stress yẹn ti pọ̀ jù ọ̀kadà dẹ̀lámọ́ tó máa gbé káàkiri from there ọ̀kadà tó máa yọ owó tiwọn.
Tí a bá ní network problem máa ní ìdí pé bóyá wọ́n debit àwọn èèyàn wọ́n lè ní kán wá sí bank àbí táwa gan bá ní challenges tá a bá ti travel sí Abẹ́òkúta ó máa difficult fún wa.
Àwọn olè máa ń dá wa lọ́nà ká má parọ́ àwa ládẹ ní gbèsè a kàn ń fi ẹ̀mí ran díẹ̀díẹ̀ náà.
Bó tilẹ̀ jẹ́ wípé báǹkì ìfowópamọ́ àwọn àgbẹ̀ kan ìyẹn Bank of Agriculture àti ilé ìfowópamọ́ alábọ́dé ìyẹn Microfinance Bank fìkàlẹ̀ sílùú Ìmẹ̀kọ síbẹ̀ kò sí ẹ̀rọ ìfowóránṣẹ́ àti ìgbà owó tí a mọ̀ sí ATM kankan nínú ìlú náà.
Wọ́n tó lè ṣe ni pé kán bá wa gbé àwọn ATM wa, so tá bá fẹ́ lò a lè máa lo ATM wa ká máa fi withdraw.
Kán bá wa gbé bank tó bá tẹ̀ jẹ́ ọ̀kan kán bá ṣe kan síbì so that ó máa tẹ̀ easy fún wa díẹ̀.
A fẹ́ kọ́ ṣe báǹkì fún wa ni o torí a máa ń fojú nídìí pé ká máa transfer ká máa lo POS ìgbà míì gan service ò ní dá.
Àmọ́ lára torí tá a bá sọ pé a ò mọ̀ fúngbà tí báǹkì ṣiṣẹ́ irọ́ la pa.
Ohun tó kù nínú ilé ìfowópamọ́ tí ó wà nílùú Ìmẹ̀kọ láti ọdún 2013 òun là ń wò yìí. Ọ̀gọ̀rọ̀ àwọn aráàlú ni kò lè ṣe àwọn ìdúnàdúrà ní báǹkì yàtọ̀ sí à ń lo POS pẹ̀lú oríṣiríṣi ìpèníjà tí wọ́n ń kojú. Ohun tí wọ́n ń fẹ́ náà ni kí ìgbéǹde wà fún àwọn báǹkì yìí nílẹ̀ yìí láti jẹ́ kí ìgbé ayé tó dẹrùn máa bá ará ìlú. Láti Ìmẹ̀kọ, Tọ́pẹ́ Àlàbí ló ń jábọ̀ ìròyìn fún iléeṣẹ́ NTA.
Wọ́n ti gba àwọn mùsùlùmí lámọ̀ràn láti di òpó ẹ̀sìn Islam mú dáradára kí wọ́n sì ní ìpayà Ọlọ́run nínú ohun gbogbo tí wọ́n bá ń ṣe àti pé kí wọ́n ṣe dáadáa sí ẹnìkọ̀ọ̀kan láwùjọ láìwo ti ẹ̀yà tàbí ti ẹ̀sìn. Èyí ni kókó ọ̀rọ̀ ìṣítí níbi ètò àdúrà ọjọ́ kẹjọ fún olóògbé Alhaja Sidikat Abake Salami. Ẹgbẹ́ ẹ̀kúnrẹ́rẹ́ ìròyìn náà síwájú sí látẹnu Mohammed Adébọ̀wálé.
Mọ̀lẹ́bí, ará, ọ̀rẹ́ àti àwọn alábàáṣepọ̀ ni wọ́n péjú pésẹ̀ síbi ayẹyẹ àkànṣe àdúrà ọjọ́ kẹjọ tí wọ́n fi ṣe ẹ̀yẹ ìkẹyìn fún olóògbé Alhaja Sidikat Abake Salami tí kí ayé pé ìdìbò ṣe ní ọjọ́ kẹjọ sẹ́yìn. Nínú àkànṣe ètò àdúrà, Imam Abdulrahman Arówólò rọ àwọn tí wọ́n wà níkàlẹ̀ láti máa gbé ìgbé ayé onírẹ̀lẹ̀ àti oníbẹ̀rù Ọlọ́run nígbà tí ó ń sọ ọ̀rọ̀ ìwúrí nínú ìgbé ayé olóògbé Sidikat. Ó ṣàpèjúwe rẹ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹni tó nífẹ̀ẹ́ àlàáfíà. Imam Arówólò rọ àwọn ọmọ rẹ̀ pé kí wọ́n má mikàn ṣùgbọ́n kí wọ́n ní ìgbàgbọ́ pé oore lè lọ sinmi ni.
Ọ̀rọ̀ Ọlọ́run tó ju èmi tó ju gbogbo wa lọ ni àwa ń pera wa ṣàkíyèsí ni pé báwo ni kálukú wa ṣe di ẹrù rẹ̀ kalẹ̀ látẹ̀mùsíyá fi máa ń kíbèrè àrídì fàájìrà.
Àwọn ọmọ náà tí wọ́n kìdárò ìpapòdà mọ̀mọ́ wọn ṣe àpèjúwe gẹ́gẹ́ tó kó ipa tó jọjú nínú ìlọsíwájú àti ìdàgbàsókè ìgbé ayé àwọn àti àwọn èèyàn tí ó bá súnmọ́.
Wọ́n mú jẹun tó kẹ́bi wúra ó ṣe bí màmá dáadáa ni ó dúró tó òun rẹ̀ kò sí nǹkan tí màmá mi lè ṣe fún òun rẹ̀ láti lè jẹ́ ká dókè.
Nígbà tí mo ti fẹ́ ọmọ mi gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọmọ ni bí àṣìlẹ̀ advice tí ìyá lè fẹ́ mọ àmọ̀ràn tí ìyá lè gbọ́ mọ ló máa ń gbà mí.
Àwọn mọ̀lẹ́bí àti ará tí wọ́n wá láti òkè náà ṣe àpèjúwe rẹ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ bí òpó kan tó di mọ̀lẹ́bí Salami mú.
Gbogbo ẹbí nílé ọkọ gbogbo àwọn ni wọ́n mú pé ìyàwó gidi ni nílé ìyá nílé bàbá èèyàn gidi ni làlájà. Àdúrà tèmi wá ní wípé Ọlọ́run ọba mi wá forí kì í á pàṣẹ ṣe ọ̀nà.
Èèyàn gidi ni wọ́n, màmá dáadáa, abiyamọ tòótọ́, wọ́n dá àwọn tutù, wọ́n dẹ̀ kó èèyàn mọ́ra. Àmọ́ mi ní kí gbogbo èèyàn náà ṣe bí màmá yẹn ṣe ń ṣe, kó fi wà jọ̀wọ́.
Lára àwọn tí wọ́n péjú pésẹ̀ síbi ètò náà ni ọ̀gbẹ́ni Wálé Ṣóyúnbọ̀ tí ó jẹ́ òṣìṣẹ́ iléeṣẹ́ NTA News 24 ní ìlú Àbújá tí òun náà jẹ́ ọ̀kan lára àwọn ọkọ ọmọ màmá. Alhaja Sidikat Abake Salami ní òkè ayé pé ìdìbò ṣe ní ẹni ọdún márùnléláàádọ́rin tí ó sì fi ọkọ ọ̀pọ̀ ọmọ àti ọmọ sílẹ̀ sáyé lọ. Mohammed Adébọ̀wálé mo ti ń jábọ̀ ròyìn fún iléeṣẹ́ ti Abẹ́òkúta.
tó ìròyìn wá fún ti àṣálẹ́ yìí kò ní jù báyìí lọ ẹ pàdé wá fákòtò ìròyìn láṣálẹ́ ọ̀la láṣẹ Èdùmàrè ó dàárọ̀ ọ̀run rẹ̀ lásán.